gonna move right into the next one. Tagir Ulanbekov versus Nate Maness. What I don't know what that was frantic. What Nate Maness is doing here. Personally, I think he's a tough matchup for most. He's a great fighter. I'm a fan of his. Awesome sub game. He's got no quitting him. But I think he's got no business at flyweight. He started out I 145, 145. He had like a couple of like in between like 140, like 135. But he's like emaciated. The weight cut is going to be a massive and detrimental to his performance in this fight. He's not a small guy. He's skinny, but he's tall. I just think it's way too much. He's not a great striker. He's yet to outstrike one of his UFC opponents, and doesn't really ever open up his hands. No real really combos. Really, Tagir Ulanbek, I think honestly is a bit overrated. The guy has tremendous hype. I don't think he's really lived up to our expectations so far. He's had good performances. Um, this one, take it with a grain of salt, whatever. But I like to mention total red flag. He's pulled out of more fights in the UFC than he has, and that was all since 2021. So, whatever. How many fights does he have? He's got 3 fights. I think he's pulled out 4 times. So it's not necessarily the best look you want to see. And betting on him so far in the UFC has been more of like a headache than anything else, because all 3 of his fights have been razor thin and give you a heart attack by the end of the fight. And he's gone to decision in all 3 fights. He's a good combat sambo practitioner, averages 3.7 takedowns per fight, 47% accuracy. But in the same breath, he's had trouble stopping takedowns. And he's a bit of a slow starter, which might be the reason for the close fights. Like, he'll take the first round, just kind of feel out his opponent, and then open up a little. But it's kind of like there's only 3 rounds. That's really tough to do. He did show often his last time out he's not just a one-trick pony. He proved his striking. It's awkward and tough to figure out, but it really works in his favor. It's good. We didn't really get this. I guess we saw it with his first fight in the UFC against Bruno Silva. That fight was razor thin, as close as it gets. And then in his loss to Tim Elliott last time, he looked good on the feet. He lost the fight. A lot of it was from the grappling and just Tim Elliott just going a million miles an hour, like every second of the fight. So it's tough for, a younger guy coming in there facing a veteran like that. The grappling is pretty close here. I think Ulanbek is the far better striker, and that's going to be the difference maker in my head. So I'm going to go with Tagir Ulanbekov.